Hey guys, how are we? And welcome back to the channel, Masculine Dating and Development. Welcome back. As you can see, I've got my jumper on again. It's another cold day here in Sydney. Quite cold today, actually. It's been cold the last few days, but it is winter. But I'm definitely looking. I'm actually going to Europe soon. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. And this ties in with the video of this title. The title of this video, I should say. What is a passport, bro? And should you become one? My experience so far. So, what prompted me to want to make this video is that I've seen a lot of talk at the moment about, passport bro this, passport bro that. What is it about? Should you become one? If you can't do it where you are in this particular country, why is it going to make any difference, right? We're going to cover all those things. So essentially a passport bro is someone that travels to other countries, right? A guy obviously that's, looking to improve his dating life to a certain degree and have a better experience with women in a different country, because not always, and I'm going to get into that in a minute, but the majority of the time he's not having a great experience in generally a Western country, being Australia, America, as an example, so on and so forth. And look, guys, let's be honest, rightly so, okay? We are not victims as men, especially on this channel. We aren't, right? We take control of our dating life and our masculinity and everything else involved with that. But ultimately, you can have a different experience in a different country. And I've experienced that myself, right? So the pushback is on the passport bros is that if you can't essentially make it work here or whichever country you're in, well then why would it be a different experience for you in another country? So essentially is that if you understand, the subconscious mind, quantum physics and mechanics, I'm not going to go too deep into that. I will in another video, but the old saying goes, wherever you are, there you are, okay? Wherever you go, there you are. So what that means is that whatever I'm experiencing here, well then if I go somewhere else, I'm going to have the same experience because it's still the same subconscious programming that I have running in the background, okay? Which ultimately is true, mostly, okay? Like, any NLP work, quantum physics, mechanics, subconscious, programming, all that kind of stuff, when you understand psychology, even if it's Carl Jung's work, Sigmund Freud, some of the great, psychologists of our time, you understand that that premise does exist, okay? Now, the reason why I'll push back on that myself is because I've experienced this myself. Okay, so, not to, toot my horn or whatnot, but I do quite well here and I have done majority, if not all of my life. Yes, there's going to be peaks and troughs, okay, but that is the reality of the dating world. It's never going to be, you got to have your highs and lows because we don't learn from the highs, we learn from our lows, right? That's a rare reality of life. So, I have done well here and I continue to do well regardless, right? Whether it be, utilizing dating apps or, cold approach daytime, which I mostly lean towards as my number one lead generation. It's a combination of the two. But as we know, if you've watched any of my content, you know that I move towards daytime cold approach more so over dating apps. And there's a whole nother video on that anyway. But okay, so the reason why I'm saying this is because so my background is Scandinavian, right? My parents are Scandinavian, my grandparents and whatnot were Scandinavian, okay? So I'd never been to Scandinavia, but I was always naturally more drawn to those types of particular archetypes in women, right? Light features, blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes, all those particular types of features predominantly found in those European countries and especially the Nordic countries, Scandinavian countries. And if you think about it, if my background is Scandinavian, well then naturally on an evolutionary biological level, then I'm naturally going to be more drawn to those particular types of women, right? On an aesthetic level, okay? And I'm telling you this for a reason. So even though that I can do quite well here in Australia, when I went to the Nordic countries and the Scandinavian countries for the first time 3 or 4 years ago, right? And I'm going back again soon. Like, side note, I can't wait. I actually can't wait. It's going to be amazing. But as it gets closer, I'll divulge more, and I want to take everyone on the journey with me while I'm over there, because I'm going to be out every day, and yeah, it's going to be amazing. A lot of content, a lot of footage with myself and others. But anyway, I digress. So I'm just getting really excited about it because it's coming up. It's getting super close. So when I went to Scandinavia, right, and I primarily did go there because I wanted to experience, obviously, I wanted to connect with my heritage. I wanted to see my family over there and meet some of the family that I never met before, right? But at the same time, I wanted to go meet as many Scandinavian women as I possibly could. That was my overarching goal. That was honestly the goal. And it was an incredible and an amazing experience. That's hence why I'm going back again, right? And I'll tell you the story. In every single way possible. Because you think about this, right? If I am naturally drawn and attracted to that particular type of woman, right, wouldn't it make sense for me to immerse myself in that particular type of reality? Like, doesn't it just make sense? That doesn't mean that I can't do well here in Australia, and that doesn't mean there are not Scandinavian women here. There is, right? To a way lesser extent, right? But doesn't it make sense that if those are the particular type of women that I'm drawn to, why wouldn't I want to immerse myself in that? And I get up every day and I walk out my front door and like, oh my God, I'm surrounded literally everywhere, you know? Like, it's just like, for me, it was like, wow, like I really wish I had started doing it from a younger age, but it is what it is, and the timing of life happens. And you know, I have a dog, and I hate leaving him, you know, for long periods of time, and that's mostly what's kind of stopped me going on extended travels or, you know, far away places and stuff like that, you know. But ultimately, I would like to live there, and I will live there at some point of my life. I feel like I have to, and I feel like it's in me. So anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. But anyway, as I said, doesn't it make sense that I would immerse myself in that particular type of culture and those people, so I'm surrounded by them every day? Do you know what I'm saying? Then I have a much higher probability of chance not only being attracted to someone of that particular type of aestheticness, right? But then I have a much higher chance of also being compatible also, right? Like, why wouldn't you naturally do that? Even though I can be successful here, right, in Australia, why wouldn't I immerse myself in that particular type of environment? It makes sense, right? So the general pushback on the passport bros is like, oh, they can't make it work in their particular country. That's why they're going to another country, because it's easier. Well, maybe to a lesser degree, to a certain degree, it might be slightly easier. It depends what you mean by easier. Like, you being a foreigner in a different country, then you're already going to have a certain level of like a higher value status, if you want to call it higher value, whatever term you want to use, because you're a bit of an outlier, right? You're a bit of an outlier. Like, say, for instance, for me, like, you know, I'm an Aussie going to these Nordic countries and the Scandinavian countries. Well, then obviously I'm going to be a bit of an outlier. I'm going to stand out more, right? So you're going to naturally attract a bit more attention that way, because, you know, they do generally get a bit more drawn to foreigners. And look, guys, to be honest, when I was there last time, I met my ex-girlfriend there. It was a great experience, you know what I mean? For as long as it lasted for us, between us two, because of logistics and stuff like that, it was an incredible experience. And I would never change, and not one part of it, right? And that's why I'm saying is that, you know, if you feel like that you're drawn to some particular area or part of the world, or you're drawn to those particular types of nationalities of girls, go. Go. Don't let this pushback of the passport bros, or you can't make it work here, that's why you're going over there. Like, no. Life is short, man. Life is extremely short. And you want to give yourself the best possible opportunity, right? And meeting the best possible girl, if that's what you want in your life, right? Why wouldn't you do that? Doesn't make sense. You got to do what works for you and do what works and do what's most compatible for you, right? It doesn't make sense to not do that, okay? So I've just seen so much of this pushback against these guys, these particular guys that are in this movement, right? I see what the naysayers are saying, and I see how it makes sense on a psychological level, on a subconscious level. I get it. You have to be able to make it work to a certain extent where you are before you go. But that does not mean that you cannot have great success being in a different country as well. Some countries are just naturally more geared to, like some countries like Latvia and stuff like that, they have more women than men. And they're more traditional. In Eastern European, we know that. Ukraine, if it was more settled, like I would love to go there too, because they're naturally more geared towards traditional masculine to feminine relationships, which is what which is what I'm drawn to, and I've always been that way. It's like if you're a masculine man, you want to have the opposite, which is the polarity of that, which is obviously naturally a more feminine woman. So it would make sense, right? So my message to anyone that's thinking about doing it, do it. Don't wait. Do not wait around. If you're thinking about becoming one of them passport bros, like you don't even have to label it like that. Go out, travel, and it just completely opens your eyes up like you wouldn't believe. So I'm going back again. I'm going back because I had such a great time when I was there last time. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. You know, I'm going to be out there and I'm going to be meeting so many different types of new people and women like every single day, pushing myself as hard as I can. When I go overseas like that, I make the absolute most of it. As soon as I get up, I'm out there, I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm meeting new people. Even after the gym, I'm like, boom, I'm out there. As many approaches as I can get. Like I'm making the most of it. That and across dating apps and so on and so forth. But in relation, excuse me, but in relation to coming back to the passport bros, if you are in that position and you feel like that you could do substantially better in a different country, go. Do it, guys. Honestly, don't let any of this stuff that you see or you hear on the internet hold you back, or you think that you're not worthy of, some particular type of women. Because let me tell you, there are women in the world, if it's not in your current country, that will love you for the guy that you are now and everything that you present. Now, does that mean that you should not work on yourself? No. You work on every area of your life concurrently at the same time. Okay? So I'm not saying just accept everything that you are right now. I'm saying work on yourself. But if you're going to be valued higher, it's in somewhere else in the world, and you are more attracted to those particular types of women, go. They tell me Rome is another perfect example. I'd like to go there next time. I'm not going there this time, but this time I'm going London for 4 days, and then I'll be in Norway for a bit of time, and then I'll also be, so I'm going Norway, Finland, Iceland, and then back to Denmark. It's going to be amazing. I literally cannot wait. Cannot wait. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of it within the channel as much as I possibly can, because I want you guys to come along with the journey with me, and I want you to see what it's like. And yeah, I've got some pretty cool things organized over there, so it's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, getting back to the title at hand of the video is that hopefully by now you understand what a passport bro is. It's just someone that travels to different countries to experience a potential better dating life and to improve his dating life rather than the current country that he's in, right? And we already know what the pushbacks are on that. Obviously they say that if you can't make it in this country, why would you be able to make it in another country? True to a lesser extent, but the exception is not always the rule. Okay, there's a lot of guys that leave and never come back. A lot of guys that go to Asia, if that's your thing and whatnot. So be it, whatever. Who cares what people say? You got to do what's right for you, right? You really do. And internally and intuitively, you already know what is right for you. You already know what you need to do. So the thing is, you just need to do it. So I'm going to say it again because I want it to really hit home, okay? Because I know I've said it like 2 or 3 times already. But if you're one of those guys that are thinking about it, you're not having the success that you feel like you could be having in a different country, and you're more naturally drawn to them particular types of women. Maybe it's in Spain, maybe it's in Italy, maybe it's in Greece. All right, for me, it's all through Scandinavia, and I'm more drawn to those particular types of women, right? So I go to the Scandinavian countries, the Nordic countries, right? Does it mean that I can't make it work here? No. But am I going to have a better time over there because I'm surrounded by more of the types of women that I naturally am drawn to and want to be with? Of course I'm going to. Because you just naturally want to talk to more of them. Because you're naturally already attracted to more of them. Because it's their country. Makes sense, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Hopefully you're understanding the message I'm trying to get across. So anyway, I think that pretty much covers it for now. I just wanted to get this video out there because I've just seen so much of it recently, and I've just seen a lot of guys pushing back against these passport bros, whatever you want to call it, and giving them a lot of flack and a lot of heat. And I just want to come in here and say, it's a double-edged sword, but I want to lean towards that. Go where you are going to be most valued. That's what it comes down to. I don't care what anyone says. You shouldn't either. Life is short. Do what you need to do for yourself to improve your dating life, or just your life in general, okay? Everything else will come when you improve your life in general, right? All right, guys. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's going good. Hope everyone's out there smashing it, moving towards their dating goals even closer. Like, comment, subscribe. Write in the comments below if there's anything that you'd like to add to this video, you take away from this video. Tell me your experiences with traveling in different countries, and tell me your experiences with different women from different countries. I love it. I love hearing that stuff. It's one of the favorite things I love talking about when I'm out, meeting new girls, is I love to talk to them about their travel stories. And it's one of the most important topics you can talk to someone about because it brings everyone to life. It makes them light up. Myself, that's why most of the time when I'm out approaching my reticular activation system, another video for another time, my RAS is like locked on to Scandos or Eastern Europeans when I'm out approaching. It's just like zoop, and I can always pick out the ones that are traveling, and I always have most of the time have a great conversation. They're more open, they're more receptive. They're just many different things, and that could be a whole nother video for a whole nother time, that is for sure. But yeah, I really want you to write in the comments below. Tell me about some of your experiences. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What countries have been your best countries that you've gone to, where you've done a lot of approaching and you've had a lot of success? Tell me, guys. I'm interested. I'm an open book, and it's I'm just super pumped. I just can't wait to go. So it's not long till I go. But anyway, I'll divulge more about it as it gets closer. So, all right, guys, I've gone on too long with this video again. Hope everyone's well. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me about your traveling stories. Tell me about anything you add or subtract. And and let's build on that. And also put in the comments anything that you'd like me to make a future video about as well. So I'm here to help, guys. I'm here to add value. I know I say it every video, but I truly mean it, and that's what I'm doing it for, right? Okay? There's no gatekeeping. You know that, okay? All right, guys. Take care. All the best, and I hope everyone's well, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, take care, guys. Bye.